Okay, folks, I'm starting to get this straightened out. I'm watching this wicked little cell cross through Wheeling, West Virginia. The cell above it that I sent out the text for earlier on the warning was 2.5-inch hail. That's like baseball size, just about. It's still producing hail over here in the Washington area. And still rotating as well. So these little storms are rotating. So they're starting to thicken up as they're approaching Martinsville and Pittsburgh. They've extended the severe warning, the severe thunderstorm watch all the way over to Uniontown, PA, and this will likely be pushed further east. Very large hail is what they're worried about with these storms. 65, 70 mile an hour gusts. Some tornadoes possible, although we haven't seen any warnings yet. They did have some warnings earlier in Ohio. And now remember, there's still about 100,000 some people out of power right around Pittsburgh. So they may not even know this is coming until they hear it. But I don't think this is going to make it all the way through the mountains tonight. Seems like this boundary layer right here, this orange dotted line, is going to help keep it north of the Maryland PA line and more than likely not through the mountains tonight. Tomorrow is going to be a different story. I'm more worried about tomorrow than I am today. We've got some high winds in Baltimore and some strong thunderstorms starting to form. There's one in the city. Baltimore City has a cell formed. And it's got some strong gusty winds in there near Ellicott City. Let's take a look at this. There's a microphone. So, strong thunderstorm moving at 20 miles an hour. Why are they using knots? That's unusual. They usually say mile per hour. A special marine warning uses knots, that's why. A special weather statement uses mile per hour. So the Baltimore Harbor is basically under an almost warning. And we'll see what's going on with that. Strong gusts is showing up on that radar. See how it's moving across here. It's just flying right underneath the edge of a severe thunderstorm warning. And let's change that over. But it's a very small cell, and there's a couple of little cells poking around. But these are not severe by any means, and we'll keep seeing these pop up around the Baltimore, Central Maryland, D.C. area. Put that in motion. You can see them moving through. So that's firing off a little lightning. But I don't think overall, I don't think that this is going to be a big problem for us this evening. We may see a severe thunderstorm warning on this cell and entering Baltimore. And these other little cells are staying pretty small, but we'll keep an eye on them. And you see these popping up like right off of Annapolis, and then they're fading off as they cross the bay, so that's a good sign. But Not all of them will do that. It's going to be totally hit or miss. There's no way to know who's going to get one and who won't, but just keep a ear out for thunder if you're out tonight. Let's check out this southern New Jersey cell. Make sure it's not rotating. Yeah, it's got some broad shaped rotation when it's stretched out like that. A lot of times in New Jersey, these storms tend to spin up right as they get to the edge of the water. This happens down in OC a lot too. And then the bay or the in between the barrier islands, like Little Egg Harbor, is a lot warmer than the ocean is over here. So that could be a nice steamy shot of humidity and storm fuel, but it looks like so far everything's hit or miss with all of these cells, just small isolated storm cells. And same thing over here with Morgantown. There are some cells headed that direction, but they're still pretty far out. But the overall front that's pushing this into the region, you can see they seem like they're kind of drying up right as they get to Morgantown, or going right around Morgantown, but that luck will run out sooner or later tonight. More than likely you'll get some heavy rain, some lightning, but not guaranteed to have a severe thunderstorm out of it. So let's just keep an eye on this for right now, because some of these are pretty bad. I'm going to be right back. There is a small cell up in Hagerstown right now. It's not really doing much. Just rain, no lightning even. Take a look at the map camera. Very hazy on the cam. Camera's shaking pretty good. So it's a very small cell, just raining and some wind. Not too bad looking there. Yep, very small cell. Let's go to Baltimore. You can see that storm in the distance there. 70 and 695. The roads are wet. Oh yeah. Strong winds there. Heavy rain. Got the camera shaking pretty hard. And it's got traffic backed up pretty good. You can see there. Crazy looking. So this storm will probably end up with a severe warning if the in Baltimore if it doesn't get a if it does not get a special weather statement any minute. That's crazy on that camera there. That's probably normal traffic for this time of day though, honestly. But you can see the rain and the haze. Let's look at the other side. Well, it's not there yet. We'll look at downtown. This storm will probably move into Harford County, but just with rain, it's not going to be a problem. You know, it's been going for almost an hour now, and it still hasn't received a severe thunderstorm warning. So it's really not that severe. What do I want? I want I-95. To Southwest Baltimore, and then we went to 395 cam. That's the best view of the city, downtown. I-95 at 395. Look at that. That camera is shaking. So it's rain. It's just rain with some winds. You know, you got to remember this camera is a couple 100 feet in the air. Probably one of the highest cameras in the area. On that big giant light pole. And it's going to shake pretty easily. But here you can see towards Key Highway, heavy rain. At the tunnel, pretty heavy rain. But not the heaviest we've seen by far. So just much needed rain. Dry at 40 and 95, so it's a very small concentration of rain as well. Let's look towards the west side, 695 interchange. Oh yeah. Now see that guy parked right there? That is the absolute worst place you could ever want to sit. See that? Never do that. When I was driving a tow truck, I got more bad accidents in spots right there on the off ramp because people will jerk the wheel at the last minute and try to get down that ramp when they realize they're almost passing it and not even see you, drill you. It happens all the time up here at Chesapeake. What's it called there? The Chesapeake House. And the one in Aberdeen. I hear calls almost every day, sometimes a couple times a day on the weekends, for people that get hit sitting like that. So, dangerous. Just drive past it and find a wider spot, or pull up into the ramp and park somewhere. So, this is looking southbound on 95, I think, at 695. And the other thing people do is when it hails, they park underneath the bridge. And that's extremely dangerous because then people decide to park up with you and then they block traffic. So very, very heavy rain here on 695 and 95 on the west side interchange, southwest Baltimore. And perfectly dry at the 695 and 95 northeast side interchange up by Whitemarsh. So this storm is going to be probably moving through Essex, Middle River, Edgewood, Aberdeen Proving Ground, and then over to Chestertown and Kent, Cecil County and Kent County across the bay. But they're kind of fizzling out, and this one is shrinking up. So I'm not too worried about these cells yet, or they would have been fired up by now. We would have had warnings already. This little cell over here in southern New Jersey took off as it got near the ocean. It started picking up that moisture off of those inland bays and swelled up at the last minute just before it goes out to sea. And a lot of times when these go out to sea, if you watch them and track them with the radar as far as you can, you'll see them form very, very powerful water spouts, tornadoes, but over the ocean, it's a water spout. So just something interesting if you're watching the radar you can watch for. Occasionally you can see them from the beach if the lighting's right, like in the evening. At Ocean City, I've caught more than a few as the storm goes past, and then you can see the back end of the storm and the lightning striking. If you take binoculars and look out there where the water meets the sky, a lot of times you'll see little tornadoes or water spouts form on the back side of that storm. That's usually where they form, is on the west side, or I'm sorry, the southwest corner of the storm. So as it passes you, you're looking at it. So if this was Ocean City, come on, wake up. There we go. If this was Ocean City, and this is definitely trying to swirl up, you can see it gets the vortex right back here. And when it gets over that hot ocean water in the summertime, especially August and September is the best time to see them. You'll see them all the time down there. Happens in Florida all the time. Take a look at this here. Make sure we're doing okay. Some lightning strikes coming out of that cell near Baltimore, but yeah, just heavy rain otherwise. There's Caton Avenue and 95. That's probably the thick of it right there, the worst of it. Oh, that guy almost got hit right there, right live on camera. See that? This is exactly what I was talking about. Oh, this guy's crazy. He almost got hit coming out of there. I wish I could have this recorded live. I've seen so many accidents watching people in the rain. Craziness. I guess Eastern Avenue cameras are not working today. But even at Moravia Road, nothing. Eastern Avenue, nothing. There we go. So the roads are just barely getting wet at Eastern Avenue now, so on 95. So the storm's creeping very slow. And you can see the trees are blowing a little bit, but they're not bad. It's nothing to worry about so far. It might have a hail core in there. If it develops a hail core, then we can start worrying about microbursts. But as of right now, this is just a regular old thunderstorm. Nothing to really freak out about. Let's go back to Hagerstown. Cell is shrinking up. And Pittsburgh. A lot of these cells do not have warnings on them. But that first set of cells that came in the Wheeling area left some pretty good damage. From what I'm seeing here, hail reports 2.5 inches, 1 inch, 1.7 inches. That's usually indicating when it's a rotating storm that's putting out hail that big, it's going to have a tornado in it. But as it crossed the Ohio River, it changed air masses. There's a boundary layer right there. And you can see it rotating, big time rotation, and then broadens out, slows down. And these storms are basically drying up below that. So Morgantown looks like you guys are going to see some mild storms at least, but they've got the warning stopped, or the severe thunderstorm watch right here, expiring in 99 minutes. So in another hour and a half, 2 hours, we'll tell if they extend this. I'm curious to see if we'll have a quiet evening or if this will make it into the mountains and cause some problems. But we'll see what happens. I'm going to get off here for a few and get something to eat. And if anything else pops back up, I got to work on this program still, trying to get this straightened out and more professional for you guys, be able to enjoy it better. Making some tweaks, but I'm keeping an eye on this storm in Baltimore. But so far, it's staying well below severe limits. So it's right on the city right now. Let me see if I can find that. Let's go to the Baltimore Harbor Cam. The same camera that caught the bridge collapse. I was watching it when that happened that night. It was a new camera they just put up. It's got an excellent feed. Look at this guy. This guy's drag racing down the bay, the inner harbor. He's crossing right where the bridge was sticking up out of the water. You can see the support column right there. He's running right down the channel at full speed. Oh, he's settling down. That's a jet ski, I think. I think it's fast, whatever that is, throwing up some water. Whoops. Keep playing, keep playing. Yes. What happened? Maybe the storm knocked it out. Oh, there it goes. So that's a cool camera if you ever want to check out what's happening, and you can watch the big ships come in and out. But this is the same camera and the same shot right here that looking right into Baltimore from the fort area that caught the bridge collapse, and that's the bridge support right there. And they're working right here, clearing up the rest of the debris and getting ready to start rebuilding the bridge. So you can see a big giant container ship in the distance right there. And these are the ones that you can see to your left on 95 when you're going into Baltimore from the Harford County area. And there's a lot of sailboats out there coming in. So, great shot. Go to YouTube, it's a much cleaner, much better video. I must be having internet problems, I think, because my speeds are down and my quality is horrible today. I'm probably just a lot of people online as well. So I'll leave that up, and then I'm going to hop up for a few and get something to eat, but so far it looks like everybody's in the clear, unless you are in the thick of the rain in Baltimore, but the storm is shrinking quickly. It's definitely raining itself out. It looks worse than it is in the sky. There's a few small cells around, but nothing extreme or even worried, enough to worry about. And then in Pennsylvania, Pittsburgh area, there's still a couple severe storm cells chewing through the same area where people are without a lot of power. And that's the biggest problem. More strong cells moving through where people are already without power today. We don't need that. Alright, I'm gonna hop off here. There's a cell working its way towards Morgantown. A couple of these are drying right up. The boundary layer right there. And the mountains are keeping it from making it into that area. So you guys are doing good today. Just as they get to it, it's drying up. Alright, I'll see you.